just amazing that it's actually on its wheels in this corner right here in this nook, coming from all the way up there and then not being able to be seen for this long.
See if I can see any clues. Let's see what happened here, if there are any remains inside here.
Tonight, police have found the truck belonging to a Waterbury man missing for nearly 16 years.
We're here in Waterbury, Vermont, where we're looking for Donnie Messier. Donnie went missing October 15th of 2006. He was driving a red F-150 1997 pickup truck. His license plate number was?
BGG 890. Where did he go from that party? Was he going to Denny's? Was he going to the racetrack? Or was he going back to his friend's house that he had called at 1:30 in the morning? Or was he going back to the guys that he was with before watching the race? Blueberry Lake to Waterbury, I think, is the clear path, and then you could branch out at a different later time to the quarries or to Lake Champlain.
Actually, he worked here with it, and he helps helping in the house. He was here helping me, and he was having some issues. He kept saying that he has things he needs to take care of before he goes away.
So this is the picture of it. It actually shows where it has two means of egress right into the pond.
It looks like we're clear here, and we'll be moving on to our next location.
This is a pond off the side. It has access to it. I just don't know how deep it is.
And off of Quarry Road also is where those other
three ponds were. Exactly.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It's clear.
It looks pretty shallow.
Yep.
Very shallow though. You can see algae growing 30 feet off the shore.
The bottom will undulate a little bit, but I think the average depth out there is going to be about 5 feet right now.
So this section, there's some deep spots. The road comes around tight on this side.
We'll double check something that we went over here. It's too close to the surface, but if it's upside down.
I mean, are you still 50-50? Are you 100% confident?
In my mind, I'm still questioning it. What'd you find?
I think we just found Donnie.
Are you serious?
We have a red Ford truck.
Are you dead serious?
Dead serious, dude. We have a red Ford truck.
Is it upside down?
This right side up is buried. Red Ford. I looked everywhere I could. Looked at the bumpers, front bumper, back bumper. It's just buried. And then I looked for those indicators because the moment I went down, I knew it was a truck. Looked at the color, it was red. And I went to the driver's seat and I found the Ford emblem on the front steering wheel. I saw the hole, so I knew where it started. And you know, coming from on sonar, when we passed over that object, the height didn't make sense.
Correct.
I go down in the hole. I'm swimming, I'm trying to kick my feet, and I'm breathing through the regulator like he told me. And then the shape comes up, and I can tell that it's a metallic object, and it's metal, and it's red. It's red, I knew that, and I scraped a little bit off the side so I could see it was red. And then I get closer and I see that it's a truck. It's a red truck. And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, I think this is his truck. So I'm going all around. I'm trying to find any indicators that can tell me if this is a Ford, a red Ford truck. And I'm going on the back bumper. I'm going on the front bumper, but it's so buried, man. It's just in there. So I was about to come up and I thought to myself, there's an emblem on the steering wheel. So I swim over, go to the front of the steering wheel, and I can see that it's got the emblem on there, but there's a little bit of silt on there. I take my flashlight and I turn it on and I shine it at that steering wheel. And I for a second it looked like it was a Hyundai or a Honda. And as I scraped it, it said Ford. And that's when I knew. I was like, I think we just found Donnie. But the whole top of the cab is just crumbled, dude. It's crumbled. If there's bones in there, it's buried. Because I didn't see anything. But then in my mind, I was thinking, I was like, I want to know if this is Donnie's. And I looked for something that I could grab, and I found this case. It was in the center console. And in the case was a pair of glasses. So I don't know if Donnie wore glasses, but there's glasses there. I don't know if they're prescription glasses, but that's what I could grab.
Nice job. Nice job on that. We'll find out about this. So I know you're cold. We got to get you warmed up. Thanks a lot for doing that. And it's pretty late in the day right now and it's getting cold. So what we'll do is we'll wrap up our search for today and we'll come back here first thing in the morning and I'll put on my gear and I'll go down there and do a full assessment and find out if this is in fact the vehicle we're looking for.
If there's any bones, it's most likely buried underneath all the rocks and the silt, which is good, which is really good because that means all the human remains and the evidence is intact. However, it's going to be really challenging getting that vehicle out because the whole roof of it is open.
Okay, well let's get
It's smashed down or it's open?
It's open.
It's open. Like gone.
The ice in the winter would take it out.
Oh yeah, ice and rust. Remember, it's been 16 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's not smashed down. It was just gone. Like the moment you swim down and you go in the back, like you're in the vehicle.
You can't get access to any of the tires or anything like that?
No, it's from the trunk, the back of the truck, it's just buried. I tried, and it's open too, so I tried to lift it up to see if I could find a Ford emblem there too.
Yep.
But it was nothing. It was just buried, and it's really heavy too, so I couldn't lift the bumper or the
tailgate.
The tailgate, correct.
Hi.
Hi.
Amy, yeah?
Yes.
Carson.
Hi, nice to meet you.
We were on the Winooski River and we located a target that we believe is Donnie's truck. We don't know for sure. We know that it's an extended cab, red Ford truck. And it's just off the side of the road, River Road, and there's a pocket that's 10 feet deep. The truck is buried. We dove on it. I personally dove on it. So we know for sure that it is a red truck.
Where was this at?
Off of River Road.
Off the Winooski River.
Yeah. Winooski.
Winooski.
River.
Winooski.
Just on the other side of the complex.
Are you freaking kidding me? He's maybe been that close this whole time.
Possibly.
It's an extremely likely route home coming up over Route 100 from the valley. That's an entirely likely route home.
So he found these inside. I don't know if you know if these are possibly his.
He didn't have glasses, but that doesn't mean that they weren't like
somebody else's.
Yeah,
sure.
His ex-wife had glasses. It could be a pair that got.
Sure.
Okay.
So tomorrow we're going to go back and put our dive gear on and do a more thorough investigation and see if we can identify that if it in fact is his.
Okay.
And so we just wanted to let you know.
Appreciate that.
Hey. I know this isn't the outcome that you wanted, but it's also answers.
It is. That's the biggest thing is closure.
Mm-hmm.
It's the unknown that's the hardest part, not knowing Is he going to pop up somewhere? Is he hurt? Is he in a hospital and doesn't remember who he is? I mean, that's really all we've ever wanted is just answers so that we can have closure.
Hopefully tomorrow we can bring those answers for sure.
Okay. Truly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I really, really appreciate that.
We're looking for a sticker. If you see a sticker, is that the visor? Can you go back? He had a very unique visor.
Right, visor on the.
Right there. Is that the visor sitting in the dirt? So it was an extended visor.
Oh, that does look like it, like the visor. Like it.
Yeah, like it curls over. He's now. And there's the wheel and the tire with the chrome over the wheels and chrome on the base. Crazy, huh?
And then at this point, I'm looking for an emblem, so I'm trying to dig and see if I can lift up the hat.
I knew you were onto something because you wouldn't have stayed down there that
Yeah,
long.
we said the same thing from back there. We're like, he's down there a long time.
I was like, he's holding on to something because he's coming up current. Like, there's no way he's just inspecting a rock.
Yeah, that's 90. That's 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely 96, 98. You know, F-150. You know, on the heating duct.
Right there is when I go to the steering wheel, and I thought it said Honda, but then I rubbed it off.
What's that right there?
You can see
Yeah,
Ford
I could see
straight
the
away.
Ford right there.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, you did a nice job, Carson. Very impressive, especially with no fins.
I mean, how many red F-150s are they looking at in Waterbury, Vermont?
I just wish I could have gotten like a license plate, but it's just in there. You know?
Either way, it's got to come out
you're
to
fine.
confirm the chassis numbers and
We'll put on some dry suits so we can actually get down in there and spend, you know, however much time it needs to get to the license plate. The license plates may be gone, so we'll get whatever evidence we can find. And then at any rate, I think we have enough evidence right now to get law enforcement involved so they can say, well, yeah, if it's a red Ford pickup from the 90s, you would think they would be interested in supporting us and saying, hey, we're gonna help, you know, we gotta get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying call them right this second, but tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll do an inspection first. Right.
It surprises me that that one 10-foot hole in that entire stretch of river that we scanned, that's where it was.
We have footage of the vehicle if you want to look at it to see if you can help confirm if it's him.
I'd say it's pretty likely. It's too coincidental.
We have dredge equipment, so tomorrow when we go in, we can, or even if we just use hand shovels, dig around. First thing I'm going to try to find is a license plate. It may not have them, but is this, in your state, do you require them on both the front and the back? Okay, so that's good. That gives me a little better odds of finding it.
Tailgate was still in good tack, so.
Yeah, so
push that
basically I would push that up and I'll go straight for that rear license plate, and I'll try to get any.
Glass is all broken out of the windows and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, at this point.
When I'm coming around the driver's side all the way up to the driver door, there was a window, and I tried to reach in looking for the steering wheel, but then it was in the back seat, so I made my way up to the front driver's side door and then found the steering wheel there. So all windows completely gone. The roof of the vehicle is just, the moment you go down and you dive down, you're just inside the vehicle.
I think you might have found it.
as far as our dives on this vehicle. Obviously, this is going to take a little bit of time.
There's lots of river stones and that kind of stuff in the tub of the truck.
Yes.
Clearing all those rocks around the hinges of the tailgate. Once we do that, we should be able to get the tailgate up. And then you'll concentrate on doing that and clearing away from the number plate. So hopefully the number plate's still there.
Right.
Hopefully, because of the positioning of the vehicle, the current of the stream is going down
Keeping it
the
intact.
front, so it's a bit protected at the back.
Right. And we've got, luckily we're in Vermont. In this state, you have to have one on the front and back, similar to Oregon. So if there isn't one in the back, I'll check the front, but
The front sustained a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Like you could see on the driver's side, the front end was quite badly smashed in.
right. So we'll do that. We'll get obviously a positive identification on the vehicle. So, you know, the sun's already way up in the sky. I know it's going to be a long day. As soon as we get there and we get in position, let's hit the ground running, get our gear on, and let's make this happen. Okay, I'm going to jump in the vehicle with Bill real quick and do an assessment to see if we can get the RV directly over to there. So Dan, while I'm going over with Bill to assess the situation, if you want to start checking your gear, assembling your gear, and your kit, make sure you got a full bottle.
Yep.
And then when I get back, I already changed the bottle a couple days ago, so I'm good to go.
Yep.
And so I'll see you in a few minutes.
Nice, bro.
Okay. All right.
This is state-owned property, I was told, and this is a community garden.
Oh, okay.
And so there is, you know, we can gain access to this because it's not private property.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, to come in from here and then float all the way into this corner.
Well, you remember there's a little bit of current, and the vehicles do tend to float a little bit until they get fully.
It's just amazing that it's actually on its wheels in this corner right here in this nook.
Right.
Going from all the way up there and then not being able to be seen for this long.
It's just one of those things that literally threaded the needle, whether it's on purpose or accident. Sometimes things get put in little hidden ways, and when you're not paying attention.
Well, this is a location that no one really. You know,
Yeah, it looks pretty secluded.
really secluded. So it could have been. It's been sitting here the whole
For 16 years, yeah.
Amazing.
I'm leaning towards an accident just because if somebody did this on purpose and then dumped the vehicle, you'd think
That's
they
a
would.
hard place to
Yeah,
get
why
people.
wouldn't you go to one of these more off the beaten path quarries that are around in the area, you know?
It's just in a spot that is hard to get a vehicle to. He had to come off the road.
Yeah,
on that bank.
I agree.
I mean,
Whether he was swerving to miss a deer or fell asleep at the wheel, slipped on
when
ice.
you increase speed when you come out of the exit way, like you take that left hand.
Yeah.
He takes that left hand turn, and he comes down. You increase speed. You lose a little bit of traction there because he gets swirly, and next thing you know, you're down that embankment, and it's over because it's like a 10-foot, 15-foot embankment.
Right.
So what'd you find, Nick?
We're gonna leave the RV here. We're gonna get our gear up. He's gonna make room for our kits in the back of his Jeep.
Yep.
Once we're ready, we'll load up. He can drive us right to the spot. All we gotta do is walk down the hill and get in the water.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it'll work out good.
I can get everything down there.
Okay.
And we have a perfect spot for the rotators.
Yep, we're ready.
When you go down maybe about like 3 feet, the first thing you're gonna come into is the passenger side front end. And then down on that corner, you'll go into the passenger side rear where the tailgate will be at.
So it's sitting like
It's kind of at an angle.
But the front of the vehicle is pointing upstream.
It's pointing upstream.
Okay, that's good.
Rear of the vehicle is pointing
That should
downstream.
mean we should be able to get to the rear license plate.
And then,
hopefully,
when reviewing the footage, the back passenger wheel is a little bit exposed, and then the driver's side rear wheel is mostly exposed.
Okay. Okay, so when we go down, Dan, I got some slates here. Any notes that I need to make that stand out significantly, if you see me jotting that down, that's what I'm doing there.
Yep.
Taking some basic readings maybe on the compass as the orientation of the vehicle.
Yep.
If I need to communicate with you, if it's beyond what normal hand signals will do, then I can write on here.
Sure.
So remember, obviously, the basic hand signals, you know all those. Yep. We got full tanks, we're in 10 feet of water. We should be totally fine. We got dry suits, I'm not worried about getting cold. So other than that, let's start gearing up and let's get in there and do our vehicle assessment and go from there.
Let's do that.
driver's door. It's about 8 feet of water to where the bottom of the river meets the door. The driver's seat is filled with rocks and debris from the river. Console is open. There's a CD that I can see you there. There appears to be a steering wheel cover over the steering wheel. Glove box appears to be closed. The bed of the truck appears to be something fully off the sand. There's a little bit of fishing line that has been tangled and put off some fishermen. All the windows are gone, most likely from being in the river for so long. However, the body is slightly damaged. Could have been kind of a little bit sorry to enter the water. See if I can see any clues as to what happened here, if there are any remains inside here. Looks like Dan has grabbed a computer chip from the vehicle at the front. And determined now it is in fact an F-150, Ford F-150. The moving man to the rear of the vehicle, the tailgate is down, the brake lights are missing.
So you can see that they were further upstream. Here is where the front of the truck was at. They moved roughly 15 to 20 feet down. They're now at the tailgate of the truck, trying to get the tailgate to flip up. If they can't, then they're going to be working regardless underneath the tailgate to see if they can pull the license plate. So that way we have 100% confirmation that this is indeed Donnie's truck that we're looking for today. While they're down there also, they're going to be assessing the wheels, because of the direction where it's at and the way that we would like to pull this out of here. Because those wheels are more exposed than the front, what's it going to take to finish getting through those wheels with our straps that we can go one strap around the driver's side, one strap around the passenger at the very rear, bring them, marry them together, and then have a line ready to go for the rotator up on top. From there, the rotator will slowly pull it up, keep it low, and then bring it right up the bank here. Once we get up here, we're able to, when we're on solid ground, we're able to really control it a lot more as far as keeping an eye on it, make sure we're not losing any debris out of it.
Donald Messier was last seen driving away in his red F-150 from a party on October 15th, 2006. He hasn't been seen since. Donald Messier was driving his red 1997 Ford F-150. It was distinctive, decorated with NASCAR numbers. Courier says her brother liked to drive around the region as an escape. Courier tells me at this point she just wants to know what happened to her brother.
We would love closure, just to know what happened, so we're not wondering. I mean, at this point, it's been almost 15 years, so we're realistic. We know that the likelihood of him being found alive is extremely unlikely, but I think we still just need the answers. There's always that piece of you that's going to be missing. There's always that piece of you that's going to be missing.
Courier says her brother liked to drive around the region as an escape.
His license plate number was
BGG 890.
We just found Donnie.
Yep, got a plate.
Yes.
This is Bill McIntosh with Adventures with Purpose. So it is Donald Messier's vehicle that we have found.
We found the vehicle. That's a huge step. It looks like the river has changed over the years. There's been a lot of flooding or high currents, spring and runoff and all that kinds of things. So there's a lot of debris. There's no windows left. The question is there any remains still left in the vehicle to identify that he is in fact, or was in fact in the vehicle when it went in the water? So that's the big question right now. It's going to take most of the day to get it dredged out, enough to get rigging on there, to get the tow truck in here, attach it, withdraw it from the river, get it up on land, and then we got to sift through the the pea gravel and the stuff that's filled up. You know, there's a couple feet of pea gravel inside the vehicle. So we're hoping that under a lot of that pea gravel, maybe there'll be some evidence and some remains in there, so we can positively identify that it's him, and that the family can start processing this, and they can consider this case a closed one, that we found him and brought him home. Looking at it, there is a pull-out spot, you know, up here about 100 yards where you might have went off the road and the current brought it down.
Sure.
Well, and like I said, we got good GoPro footage of it. We're more than happy to share that with you. We can give you a copy of it.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If you guys want to see it
now,
we can share that with you on the computer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Cool. And then we've got our dredging equipment set out, and so we can, because it's up to the top of the tires is like pea gravel. So to get the straps and stuff on something solid, to get it out of there, we'll have to dredge out a little bit and attach it. And then if we can get either a rotator or a wrecker in here, there's a spot that can get close here, and then we're more than happy to go out there and hook it up. We obviously try to keep it as flat as possible, because we didn't go digging through the pea gravel to look for human remains, but obviously if we can keep it flat, get it out of the water, then you guys can clear away the gravel. And
I'm the case officer for the actual missing persons case, but as far as making any of those decisions, as far as resources and techniques and stuff, that goes way above me.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I would just ask for obviously just patience, so that we can, you know, because it's going to involve a lot.
Yeah.
How deep down did you say you guys were?
It's about 8, maybe 10 feet in spots.
I was about to say, I'm surprised that with how low the river gets that nobody's seen it, but that makes more sense considering that it's you can barely even tell.
Yeah,
Did you happen to notice when you were down there if the seat belts were latched or not?
I tried to see on the driver's side at least, and I didn't notice one being latched, but at the same time it was pretty filled with gravel. I mean, you can see.
And the roof's entirely peeled back.
Yeah, and it's at a slight angle.
I'm just so proud of your team. You know, so happy your team came back and tried again. And you know, I've just been watching your success, and what you guys have been doing has been amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Thank
so
you.
I'm just so
You know,
appreciative.
and it's because, you know, people like you that reach out to us. It says, you know, there's a lost loved one. You need to know about it. And when we do, you know, we put them on a big map, and we can't get to all of them. You know, there's 3,500 that we now know of, and you know, this one we only did the, you know, as you know, the reservoir last time, but this time we came back to be working it like we normally do, and you know, where was the party at? Where was the home? What are the routes that he could have possibly taken? And you know, looking for those accident locations. You know, there's so much speculation, as you know, out there is like, oh, there's those foul play stories, or he's buried under a pond, or you know, whatever happens over the course of 15 years, the stories keep getting better and better.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, how many have we done now where it's nothing more than we believe right now is an accident?
That's what I've been seeing from you guys. Your experience is starting to be like, weed out all of that nonsense and just focus on what you know.
Yeah.
Like what are people's natural habits, and where do they go, and where do they feel comfortable, and what do they know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of shocking that he's here with the amount of people who are in this river every day in the summer, floating down it in their tubes, and but now I've watched so many times when they're in just 5 feet below the water surface is the top of the car. And thank you so much for coming back.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you.
Good, how about you?
There's the license plate, and there was a pair of glasses that were in the console that Carson found yesterday when he first dove on it. And
So game plan on the way that I would say that we would do this. You know, we've done over 500 vehicles and 25 recoveries now for lost loved ones. Because it has the pea gravel and the sand, with the dredge, it's a trash pump that's hooked up to a suction hose. And so it'll blow the sediment away from the vehicle that will go around the wheels to clear both sides of the truck. We then have all the rigging that we need to pre-rig this before the wrecker comes, where we'll go through each one of the wheels, bring it up, marry it, and then we'll have the line up to the bank, so that way the wrecker can just hook up to it. Because the truck is sitting facing upriver, We just need to take these 2 trees out right here and stay left of that tree. That way we're pulling it down river just a little bit, so that way he can break it free, lift it and break it free, but then he needs to keep it low the moment he breaks it free, so we're not tipping it.
Yeah.
And then just bring it right to the bank.
So I'm more concerned of like getting the truck out is great and all that sort of stuff, but I'm interested in treating it. You know, obviously we don't know if it's a crime scene or not, right? So, like, I want to, and granted, we appreciate you guys doing this because we wouldn't have found this. But like, I gotta send some divers down there from law enforcement and stuff like that, just to go through. I want to try to get the sediment out of the seat and get it back up here in some kind of containment pool, and have our crime scene search team kind of go through that. So that's number 1 goal, and then second would be getting it out. So what
so there's a different way to do that with the equipment that we have if you guys don't have it.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a dredge where it's going to pump everything up here for you, but it has a 10-foot hose. We can put whatever size hose we need on it. It's a 4-inch hose. What we'll end up doing is we'll end up taking a laundry bag instead, a netted laundry bag, zip tie it around the end of it, so that way as it's coming out the end of it, now it's just going to settle right in there for you.
I was talking to another dive.
The issue with that is because that's more set up for sand versus the pea gravel. The pea gravel is now going to collect in there, so that's the issue that we're going to have. There's a way that we can, potentially get around it, is we just need a longer hose, keep it low, and then bring it up to a screen, so that way it's just breaking the surface right here on the edge. You have a screen that it's all pumping into, and now as you go through any pea gravel that's coming through, you can remove the pea gravel, throw that back in, and keep working that way. So that was an option for you.
I mean, that's going to be up to the crime scene search team and all that sort of stuff. I'm just, can I just see what you're talking about?
Yeah, come on down.
What you guys got?
Yep. And so the way that it works is actually blowing through here rather than sucking, because if you suck, now you're going through the 1 inch and it's going to destroy everything. It doesn't touch any pumps or anything.
So we just need a longer hose.
You just need a longer hose, that way, like I said, just create a screen up here and
we could set up a pool up here, catch all that, or however we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and the best thing, just grab like the chicken wire, like the square, and just create a box. Just have it all running. That's so that way, if they end up sucking anything up, you're going to catch it. But more likely, because you're dealing with some larger femurs and whatnot, they will not end up going through here. They'll be able to see them.
Yep. Let me talk to some other people. We'll chat with you guys, and we'll come up with a plan. And
whether it's today or tomorrow,
work together and do it that way.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Okay.
What's there is still there.